Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about Amazon Prime's new sci fi series, Night Sky. We're going to be discussing episodes 1 through 5 of an 8-part series. And so let's just get into it. Spoilers! Alright, we got Night Sky on Amazon Prime, an Amazon original, starring J.K. Simmons and Sissy Spacek, two classic actors, as Franklin and Irene York. They live in Farnsworth, Illinois, and they have a beautiful home they've grown old together in, raised their child. They had a son named Michael, and they have a granddaughter. And they just, some old folks living in their home, having a good time, being old people. It touched my heart a little bit, especially a particular scene when she went to go see a friend of hers at a nursing home. Irene did, because she used to be a teacher, and she went to go see a friend of hers that she knew all the time. She lived in town. And she had Alzheimer's, and she couldn't remember, in succession who she was. Irene had to keep introducing herself. It touched me because I recently lost my grandmother, and she was going through something similar. So, this whole series so far has been, enlightening towards the life of seniors, actually. We don't think about them very much, and I think a lot of people mistreat them or dismiss them, but they're they just need a little bit more patience taken with them, like you would a child. That's all. Be nice to the seniors, people. Anyway, yeah, that made me sad. So, it starts off in the first episode with them going to see the stars. So they're going to see the stars. She says she wants to go for a walk, so she gets in a wheelchair because she's recently had a fall in the last year, so she's been in a wheelchair for a year. So they go out to the shed. They go down into this little hatch that's inside the shed. And they go down this tunnel, and there's this weird egg-shaped door. And they open the door, go in it. Suddenly there's this glowing, this humming, this shimmering comes over them, and then suddenly they're on another planet. On another planet inside this, I don't know what to call it. I personally call it, I think it's a base or some kind of ship that's been half buried in the ground of this planet that they're being teleported to. Beautiful sky. It's clearly on another planet. They got several planets or moons off in the distance in the sky there. It's different colors. The atmosphere is untenable because Franklin has put a mouse out there to see if they could go outside, and they couldn't. It died. So they just been he said they went in, they've done it 856 times, I believe. Traveled to this place, and nothing special has ever happened. That was the only thing they ever really tried. They just come there, hang out, and chill, look at the night sky that's there, So, they also have a neighbor, Byron, and his wife, who recently moved next door now. They've only been there 6 months. And let me tell you, Myron's a total dick. I call him Myron. Byron, him and his wife have lived in this town of Farnsworth for 6 months. Already he's snooping around on the neighbor's yard. Every time he walks their dog, he creeping around. What are they doing? What they got going on in the shed? They hiding something. How about you mind your business, sir? This dude annoyed me to no freaking end. His wife seemed pretty cool. She do online work from home. A travel agent, help people plan their trips and stuff like that. So she working from home. I don't know what this dude does. All day long. He was mowing the lawn in the daytime when they showed him, and he was mowing the York's lawn when they didn't ask him to. So Frank had an issue with that. Frank don't like him. Put it like that. Frank don't like him. Irene want to give him a chance. This fool Byron, though, being that they've only lived in this town for 6 months, wants to run for councilman of the town. No, sir. No. And got mad because nobody want to sign his little thing to get him on the ballot. And so he forged signatures. Got mad because he forged Frank's signature on there because Frank didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And then the people found out that he was forging signatures on there. He assumed that it was Frank that turned him in and said that his signature was forged. And so he called himself going to confront Frank at a bowling alley. But before all of that occurs, because I'm going to get right back to that in a minute, that's very important. Him confronting Frank about the ballot. So what Byron does first is goes on Facebook, stalks them, finds their granddaughter, and then messages her to say that she might need to check on her family because they doing strange things in the middle of the night. So this chick pops up and, oh, hey, how y'all doing and blah, blah, blah. Maybe y'all should move. And then and Frank like, where this coming from? Well, I got a message that, you guys are just, taking strolls in the middle of the night and, y'all too old for that. I'm like, really? You're going to take the word of some rando before you actually come and find out what's going on with your grandparents? So instantly she pissed me off. The granddaughter was kind of annoying. Through several episodes, because mind you, this is a 1 through 5 review, she eventually did. I started to understand what her issue was, because she definitely had one, but her dealing with her grandparents was really pissing me off, how she was not really listening to them. So yeah, she come into town because she in Chicago going to school, getting her MBA, and yeah, it's not working out. I was like, Chicago, woohoo, Chicago. But yeah, no, I don't know where Farmsworth, Illinois is, never heard of it. But apparently it's approximately 70 miles outside of Chicago, because she drove there. And she's supposed to be going back to Chicago to go back to school and to go to her job because she got an internship at a fancy place downtown. And she's pretty nervous about all of that. She's, going through a lot. I don't think she really wants to be in school. She was falling asleep in class. She went on a date with a dude and just lied about everything, about her family. Then she told him the truth and felt crappy about it. She got a promotion. She's an intern. And she did a great job on a presentation that she wrote up. Another guy, of course, did the presentation, but he came back to it and said, it was excellent. Even your new ideas were great. You know what I'm saying? We got a new thing we trying to build, and we want you to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? You be part of the team, part of the company, for real, not an intern no more. And she, let me think about it, but she looked like she was about to have a heart attack when he told her that she was getting this job. She doesn't feel like she belongs. That's what I get out of it. She told her grandfather finally when they broke down and went to her father's grave, because her father died when she was 3. He killed himself. Boom. There you go. Through these 5 episodes, I have been questioning, where's her mother? They never bring up her mother. Where's her freaking mother? Where is she? Y'all keep talking about the father and how great he was. You're doing flashbacks on him. They eventually did show the flashback to when her mother and her father got engaged, told the grandparents that they was getting engaged and that she was pregnant, and all about her mother's job, but she was doing some fancy stuff in Chicago too. Yeah. Where's her mother now, though? Where is she? But anyway, she told her grandfather at the gravesite that all these feelings that she was having. She don't want to go back to school. She's terrified. She got an empty pit in her stomach. She afraid that she gonna end up like him. And her grandfather told her, look, you're not destined to repeat anybody else's mistakes. You're your own person. Don't think you're going to be like your father in any way that, might be harmful to you. Because he told her she was like her father in a couple other ways. Her sweet tooth, how stubborn she was, and she was taking that to heart and loving it because she was 3 when he killed himself. So she never really got to know him. So overall, that was this chick's issue. I'm waiting to see what else is going to happen with that, because once she found out what's going on in the shed, it might be a different story. Okay, so Byron, the dick next door, didn't give up after he seen him going in the shed and came back. He told his wife about it. She's like, are you being a stalker? She already thought he was being creepy. When he came home with the ballot thing, the sign, and it was basically full, and she's like, oh, you actually got people to sign it. Even Franklin. Like, she know that he don't get along with the neighbors. Neighbors don't like him. And then she was the last signature, and she didn't even want to sign it. So it's my theory she's the one called the city council and told them that he was forging signatures. Because she didn't want him to do that mess anyway. She like, we've been here 6 months. Chill. Let's just be in town and get to know stuff. He went to the bowling alley out of frustration. doing great, bowling by himself. I'm like, dude, join the bowling league in town and get to know the people in town before you try to run for councilman of the town. They're not gonna vote for you. They don't even know you, sir. And his personality make you not want to know him. Just saying. He's too busy in everybody else's freaking business. There was a nurse at the nursing home that Irene went to visit her friend. And Irene was a teacher, so she had taught a lot of these people that live in town, And the nurse there, she had taught her too. She was an English teacher. And she was like, I wanted to go to be an English teacher too, and I took that as a major, but it didn't work out. I ended up here, and Irene trying to make her feel better about it. Oh, it's okay, girl, you're doing good. You're in this place, it's all right. You're helping people out. Yeah, she ended up getting fired because she really wasn't into her job. So she decided she's gonna strike out on her own and have her own nursing, thing where she just helped people in town. She got cards made up. She did all of that. She come to Irene thinking they gonna need some help, but no. Here's another twist. Because Irene liked to go in the shed through the machine to see the stars, and Frank was kind of tired of it. He like, you know what? I'm afraid sometimes. I don't think we should go anymore. She went by herself. She intended to just kill herself. She wanted to go out the door, see for herself if she could survive outside the door on this planet. She didn't want Frank to suffer no more about taking care of her. He was already having back problems. And from what the doctor was saying, it didn't seem like she was going to get any better. Actually, they both seem to be in a decline. And because the doctor felt like it's a year since her fall, she still shouldn't be in a wheelchair. But here she is in a wheelchair. So, yeah. She goes to go through the door. She left him a little note and everything. Left Frank a note. And this weird, strange dude pops up in the place on the planet. And she's like, what the heck is happening? Who are you? So she calls Frank to help her bring him in the house. Oh my goodness. I've been trying to think of the dude's name that he gave. But anyway, we also have they lock him in the room. They take care of him because he was all shaky and twitching and had blood on him, but they wasn't sure if he was hurt and whatnot. And Irene's like, let's help him, and Frank is like, let's get rid of him. He done called the police. They had to get rid of him. She done told the police that Frank was seen now. That's why he called the police. So he was really pissed about that. Then they got the nosy neighbor. Oh, they got a caretaker. Oh, all right, whatever. He caught the dude in the woods, taking a walk, but he was burying something in the woods. What was he burying? Oh, I'm going to tell you in just a second because it's very, very important. There's also a side tangent story where they show a young woman and her daughter in Argentina. So we got some Spanish going on. And they live in this remote area in Argentina. And they have a small, dinky home and a chapel that they look after and take care of. The girl, of course, is getting bullied at school. She done got tricked by one of the boys to thinking that he liked her, so he done came out there to her house. He taking pictures and stuff and everything. But then he was a decent enough dude where he was a crappy enough dude to have taken the dare to come out there to her house and do all of that anyway. But he was a good enough dude to tell her it was a dare. You know what I'm saying? That he would split the money with her, for being a dare. But her mother found them and then kicked them out. Sent the daughter to her room. And then she surprisingly goes through the wall in the chapel. She goes through the wall in the chapel, goes down the tunnel, goes down another tunnel, and it's a door. The same egg-shaped door. So wait a minute. She's got one of these things underground on her property as well. She pulls out this little side panel on the door panel, and it's got this glowy orb sitting in it. And I'm like, oh my God. The seniors probably don't know that there's a glowy orb in this panel on the side of their door like this on their side of the thing. Oh my God. So, sure enough, this woman is a part of some greater organization that we haven't gotten to yet by episode 5. Still haven't gotten to finding out exactly who she's working for. But it's some woman, the boy that ended up in Irene and Frank's shed machine. Yeah, he came from there, from Argentina. He is apparently a captive of some woman. He's looking for his father, Gabriel. And I'm going to just call the man Yoon. That ain't his name. That's not his name in the show. I'm calling him Yoon, just for the sake of it. So Yoon popped up looking for his father, Gabriel, that he haven't seen. ever, but he feel like this is where he went because he also went through a machine. He started telling Irene a little bit about what was going on after a whole bunch of lies. It was so frustrating. He even went out and got drunk. He don't know nothing. He didn't know about what shots was. He don't drink. He didn't do nothing. He didn't get arrested. Irene had to get him out of jail. It was a mess. This dude, but he finally started telling the truth. And he took their little Orby thing out of their door. Why, you say? Because he didn't want the people to find him. He didn't want them to follow him. They have, on the other side, a little control pad thing. It's got weird writing on it, and they attach it to this little panel, and then they can control where they go. And these things are spread out all over the planet, apparently, because I thought the lady and her daughter, who've been sent on a mission to bring this dude back, were going to end up somewhere close to where he was at. He's clearly in Illinois, right? So when they pop about the little hatch and you see the bridge and everything else, I'm like, is they in Chicago, right outside Chicago at the toll road or something like that? You know, no, they're in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. So there's one in New Jersey, there's one in Illinois, clearly, there's these things all over the world that this higher up organization who clearly has these pads that they can control it with are using to get themselves around and travel to different places. So she done went to Newark to meet with this dude. She brought her daughter with her who didn't know nothing about it. Now she's trying to get her to know everything about it because it's their family thing that they've been doing for 300 years, protecting and looking after this door. Violently protecting and looking after this door. And anybody who knows about it and tries to leave, yeah, they get hunted down to be brought back and or killed. Yeah, because the Argentine mother had a flashback of her first excursion with her father, and they were trying to bring somebody back, and they ended up killing the lady and dumping her car and her body over into a ravine somewhere. It was messed up. Now, her daughter then seen her tase and tie up a dude in a power car. He was an electrician in his car, while they were busy trying to hone in on the signal, because apparently everybody has got a tracker inside them. Yes, these people have trackers. The dude took his tracker out when he got to Irene and them house. He took it out his leg, crushed it, and everything else. Somehow, though, they were still able to get a narrow down the scope to Illinois. So now, the Argentine lady, her daughter, and this other dude that's helping them track is on their way. The dude that's tracking said his best explanation for what the doors are, because he calling them the doors, is kind of some kind of quantum entanglement, where, the effects of one thing can be affect in a whole different place because they're connected by a waveform and they're basically the same thing. And so he feels like that's what's going on with these doors and why you can travel from one point to the other instantaneously. I would like to know more. I would like to know who built these doors, clearly alien technology, which is what made it funny when Byron, who don't mind his own damn business as a damn new neighbor, decided to go in the shed, look for whatever they go in the shed looking for. He didn't find nothing the first time, but then he got frustrated after the whole councilman debacle and that he wasn't running for council no more because of the 4 signatures. He blamed Frank. And so he went snooping through the shed again, found the hatch that went underground, found the door, looked in it. He's like, oh my God, he thought it was a bomb shelter. So he thinking Frank that built some kind of bomb shelter on their property. And so he goes to question Frank about it at the pool hall where Frank likes to go and have beers. Goes there, they play pool, they get drunk, and by the end of the night, they kind of decent with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't question them about nothing until, like, the very end of the night where they both was drunk. They wait on the cab to go home because they can't drive. And then he finally springing on him. Yeah, you can tell me about the thing. I seen it. I was in the shed. The door was open. You liar. The door wasn't open. You opened it. Anyway, Frank got immediately pissed at him. But then he was like, screw it. I'm going to take you there. I'm going to show you since you want to know so bad. So that's when him and Frank go on their drunken night that they left Irene at home because Yubi went out too. He was upset because she was trying to get the truth out of him and he didn't want to tell nothing. She done already found the little crystal orb that he done took out the door, out of their machine's door, He got it in a mason jar. She found it because she was trying to find out more about him. You know, she didn't started feeling better. You know, legs is feeling better. Everything from this thing being in the house, she's starting to get better. You know, from it. The boy even started. He cut the little tracker out his leg. The next day, it was almost healed. So I'm like, this thing got some kind of energy it's giving off clearly, and it's got healing properties to it to some degree. You know, she even disappeared her table, her living room table, when she was messing with the orb when they had left the house one day. Because when Frank was busy constantly trying to get rid of this dude, he even offered him $5,000 to get for Yuri to go. Get away, I don't want you to hurt us. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably just a con, blah, blah, blah. And the dude didn't take it. He was like, no, I don't want your money, blah, blah, blah. All in his ploy to stay, because he wasn't ready to go yet, because he there looking for his father. Well, here's what we're going to wrap all of this up, because it's been quite a time on this video as it is. This is 5 episodes, people. Bear with me. So, Frank, on their drunkenness, takes Byron down there. He takes him down there. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. And then Frank's confused. Byron's like, you tricked me. Ha, ha, ha. Screw you, Frank. So, what I didn't know was that Frank had took pictures of them one time that Irene didn't want him to have and told him to get rid of, but he didn't. He put them up. So he gave those pictures to Byron to get developed, and so Byron will believe him that they are traveling places in this thing. Also, though, when they went, so Byron go and he do an investigation on the internet. He started Googling everything. Other people then talked about this door, this secret door. And so he brings that information back to Frank. Frank is like, okay, so do we know anything more about whatever this door is? And so they examining everything about the door, trying to figure out how they can make it work again so that he can really show him for real, what it do. That's when they notice the panel on the side, and he's shining a light on it, and it's got blood on it. So now he know that the dude, Yu, then had his hands on it. So then he pull it open, and it's empty. Yes, that was the orb from their machine that he took out, and that was what was powering it. And who finds it at the end of episode 5? Good old Byron. He went tracking where that boy was walking in the forest, because he ran into him with walking his dog, of course, on their property, being a nosy bastard. So he went tracking to see where was it we ran into him? Where did we run into him in this forest, in the woods? And he found the spot because the dirt and leaves were mildly floating in the area where he buried the orb. So then it was pretty obvious, like, something's there. So he dug it up, and he didn't found the orb. So he's going to bring it back to Franklin. They're going to power that door up, and then he's going to finally see for himself what is going on with the door. But I would like to know why these other people are so, one, hell-bent on getting this dude back. I believe the head lady of this organization, I believe this is her son, and that she just wants her son back, which is probably why the father left, because she was upset of it. He couldn't probably take the son, and so he ended up just escaping on his own. And this is clearly where he ended up, because the nurse lady that I talked about that wanted to start her own thing, yeah, she came by Irene them house, to give her card, talking about she wanted to offer her services, found out that Yu was there. They had already hired him, which they didn't, but she told them that just to explain why he's there. That's what they're telling everybody, that he's there to take care of it. He's their new caretaker. The granddaughter wasn't too thrilled about that either. Y'all just pop up with this dude that's a caretaker? Come on now. But everybody seems to be going with it. And he has been taking care of them the entire time. He's been washing dishes, taking care. He's been doing his thing. You know, appreciating the fact that they let him stay there, because he is looking for his father, and got Irene helping him look for his father. Frank is like, whatever. Sure, you help him. I don't really care. I want him to go. You know. So, yeah. That's what's going to happen. Oh, the nurse. I was going about the nurse. See, I got distracted. Yeah, she came by the house, and she got pissed that they already had a caretaker. So she then went through the boy's stuff, stole some bar, this metal bar. And it looked like some kind of alien metal, really, because I can't recognize what it is. You know, it's not lead, iron, gold, silver. What is this? Bronze? I don't know. But it's precious to him to the point that he was trying to get it back. That's how he ended up out in the streets drunk, because he went to a bar and ran into the granddaughter of her friend, who didn't leave town because she's terrified about her job and her school in Chicago. Yeah, so they had a night out. That's how he got him getting arrested, because he ran from the police being drunk. And Irene having to get him out of jail. where she pushed for the truth. Tell me the damn truth, sir. The acting on this show is phenomenal. I love it. I love every bit of it. Yeah, she stole the bar. Herm and Irene the next day go back to her house to get it back. Then confront her because she's been clearly stealing from all the seniors at the nursing home. Little knickknacks and paddywhacks and everything else. All of her house didn't belong to her. I was like, that stuff looks strange, and pictures of people that she shouldn't have. Like, that can't be part of your family. That's a whole black family in that picture right there. Stuff she done stole from seniors. Terrible, terrible woman. But she want to take care of people. Oh, lady, who finna trust you? So, anyway, they got the bar back. And she had one of those tracker things hanging on a necklace in her room. So, first, you thought she was one of the bad people, but no, she was just a thief. But they still didn't establish where she got that tracker from. He believed it came from his father, Gabriel. But if he took it out and it was on a necklace, why? Why didn't his father destroy it? Why? It wasn't glowing like his was anymore. It was dark. But still, it could be sending out a signal, which is probably what they're tracking, to get to him. Because, yeah, the tracker dude narrowed it down to Illinois. So, the lady, her daughter, and him is on their way to Illinois to get him. To get Yu-Yu. That's who they looking for. Yu-Yu. I'll have his name together for the last 3 episodes, people. I swear. But, yeah, that was the first 5 episodes of this show. It is definitely interesting and intriguing. Like I said, the acting is phenomenal. Everybody, even the people you dislike, you like that you dislike them. They're doing their job. You know, Frank and Irene are great seniors. You know, the granddaughter's a bit annoying. The setting itself is pretty nice. The special effects that they've shown on the orb, on the alien space, yeah, all of that's been good. And the writing is good. So far, so good, Amazon. This is the second show that I've checked out of you guys, and an original that's a sci-fi that's turning out to be pretty good. I'll see you guys for episodes 6 through 8, and you all have a good day.